Hi there, and thanks for joining us. Any minute now, we're expecting to learn more about a tentative deal reached between teachers and the largest school district in the state. For half a year, teachers at Anoka Hennepin schools have been working without contracts. For months, we've seen rallies and walkouts after class. Teachers are asking for better salaries, benefits, class sizes, and resources. The district says if union members approve the deal and all timelines are met, the school board could give final approval of the agreement late next month. The union says its negotiations team will work as quickly as possible with the district to get all of the details of the tentative agreement to its members. Well, today, St. Louis Park high schoolers are back in class now with some new safety measures in place. Last Friday, classes were canceled following two fights the day before, one of them involving adults and students. Today, there's an increased police presence, more administration on campus, and at lunchtime, the campus will be closed. There will also be social workers here to support students who still need to process what happened. Two adults were arrested after the Thursday fight. They will not face charges, but are not allowed on school property. Well, students in the Wadena Deer Creek district are not in school today because of a threat. The district is about 2.5 hours northwest of the Twin Cities. The school district says it's working with police right now to resolve the situation. Still no word on what kind of threat was made. School officials say this is just a precautionary measure and school is expected to resume tomorrow. We're taking a live look outside where the clouds are settling in this afternoon, but the temperatures are on the rise. You could feel it the moment you walked outside. Ben shows us how much warmer it'll get.
So after a streak of 7 to 10 days of sub-zero wind chill value, this is kind of strange to see a temperature and wind chill graph that does not include sub-zero temperatures. Air temperatures eclipsing the freezing mark today, and even as we head into the evening, very tolerable wind chill values only dropping into the lower 20s. Let's take a look at your weather headlines. We have a mild week in the forecast. Every day temperatures should be at or warmer than the freezing mark, so plenty of melting taking place. A lot of cloud cover as well, so don't expect to see a whole lot of sunshine. We do have a small chance a little rain snow combo as we head into Wednesday night into Thursday morning. We'll talk more about that, plus how long this streak of temperatures 10 to 15, even 20 degrees warmer than normal will last, coming up in Maine weather in a few minutes.
Thank you. By this time tomorrow, polls in New Hampshire will be open for the presidential primary. Those results will give us our first look at the race on the Democratic side of the ballot. Our chief political reporter, John Croman, is in New Hampshire with the latest on Minnesota's Dean Phillips' run for the White House.
Well, Minnesota Congressman Dean Phillips is keeping a very hectic schedule leading into tomorrow's New Hampshire primary. He says that he'd be happy if he could get just in the 20% range. He's fighting a big write-in campaign by people who are supporters of President Biden. And the latest poll shows that about 63% of Democrats in the state plan to vote for President Biden as a write-in. But you also have independent or undeclared voters in this state that can take part in either the Republican or Democratic primary. Because of that, we'll probably see both Dean Phillips and Nikki Haley competing for the same pool of voters here in the Granite State. From Manchester, I'm John Croman.
Meanwhile, the race for the GOP nomination is down to just two candidates. Yesterday, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis ended his campaign. He finished second in the Iowa caucuses, but now he says he doesn't see a path to victory. DeSantis is now endorsing former President Donald Trump over former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley. We'll have more reports from John live in New Hampshire on KARE 11 News this afternoon, tonight at 10. Well, the defamation trial facing Donald Trump was postponed today after multiple people, including a juror, were feeling ill. Today would have been the fourth day of the trial. If nobody tests positive for COVID, the trial will continue tomorrow. The judge says he will consider a request to have Trump testify Wednesday instead of tomorrow. Right now, we're taking a live look at the state's capital as thousands of people join in on the March for Life. Today marks 51 years since the landmark Roe v. Wade decision on abortion. The group Minnesota Citizens Concerned for Life is holding the event. Many state lawmakers and a member of Congress are expected to attend. In just minutes, a program will be held on the Capitol steps. Well, firefighters in Princeton are ready to walk off their jobs, saying that they'll quit if there isn't changes to their working conditions and their boss. The Princeton Fire Department is a paid on-call volunteer department made up of 36 firefighters. 33 of them recently presented a vote of no confidence in their chief, Ron Lawrence, to the city council. They say they've been working with compromised gear for months and have struggled with lack of communication.
The firefighters don't trust the chief. They don't feel safe working for him anymore, and that's why we're putting our foot down. If all those repairs are made and we had a different chief, we would stay.
They gave the city until February 8th to take action. Princeton's city administrator says the city is still determining how many firefighters agree with the threat to quit. She says none of the complaints met the legal standard appropriate to fire the chief. Well, a big project is now underway on an iconic bridge in Minneapolis. Michelle Beck shows us what that will mean for anyone planning to cross the Mississippi.
This road work ahead sign just went up this morning. Starting today, crews are expected on the historic Stone Arch Bridge to measure the stones before replacing them. It's all part of the $26.2 million project to replace mortar and repair stones to preserve this iconic Minneapolis infrastructure for the future. A heads up for bikers and walkers, you won't be able to cross the bridge during construction. State officials say they'll close half the bridge at a time, which means you could go to the middle of the bridge only to turn around. Those disruptions to commute are expected to run through fall 2025. Construction, meanwhile, is slated for completion in the spring of 2026. In Minneapolis, Michelle Beck, KARE 11 News.